Jennifer is going to be talking to us about the LA River. This is such an exciting project. And if you know, the LA River, actually, some of the first early settlements in Los Angeles were built around the LA River. It has a lot of history. And Jennifer has helped develop over 300 transit-oriented sustainably minded homes in Los Angeles. She's a lead professional, and right now she's managing the real estate development for the LA River Corporation. And this is a city-chartered nonprofit social enterprise dedicated to changing the course of Los Angeles through responsibly redeveloping the LA River. And so some of the pictures she's going to show you are just amazing, that go from a place that just looks very industrial to a place that's extremely warm and inviting, where, again, I think Hillary even mentioned, you have the bike sharing. It can be really a great, not only a great place for community, but a way to get around the city easier, safer, faster. And a lot of the major transit stops are within 1 mile of the river, so it has just this amazing potential and such a great project. Please give a warm welcome to Jennifer.
It's on. Okay. Okay. There we go. So, thank you for being here today. We're really excited to be able to put the LA River out in front of you and pose our big problem. Just a quick show of hands. How many people actually knew that there's an LA River in town? This is good. This is already half the battle. Keep your hands up if you've been to the LA River. Has anyone biked the LA River and kayak? Okay, so we'll have to get you there this summer. So this is a tech route. I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm breaking Guy Kawasaki's 10, 20, 30 rule. I have slightly more than 10 slides. I will try to keep it to under 20 minutes, and all font is above 30 point, hopefully. So to walk you through the presentation today, I'm just going to go quickly about what the LA River is today, some lessons we can take from history to apply to the LA River from long ago and more recently, taking from what we have that is good today and hopefully making it great, and then why it's important and how you can help. So let's talk river. Yes, this is a very kind of, I think maybe the classic image of what the LA River is. We've got a flood essentially that helps convey water, very importantly, out to the ocean when it rains. However, we also have this. This is today. This is not needing to put a lot of investment or restructuring the channel. We have 11 miles of soft bottom channel on the LA River. So this is in the Glendale Narrows. This is where you would kayak if you go kayaking, and I encourage you all to go out and see it. Kind of the long ago history. So taking an example from Florence, in 1294, Brunelleschi had the idea to build this kind of beautiful dome, this call for the city. And at the time, there were warring principates. The city was impoverished. There was just a lot of things going on at the time. And yet, it happened. 600 years later, take the High Line. Joshua David and Robert Hammond were going around and they said, there is an old rail, elevated rail. Why does it have to be just like that? Why can't we do something more? And there's the kind of ghost of the Florentine Dome in the back there. And everyone thought they were crazy, but that happened too. And within 2 years, and you know, maybe the math on that is fuzzy, but according to the New York City Economic Development Department, within 2 years, the project paid for itself. And that's $100 million a mile that they did. But it is one of the most visited places in New York City today. Which brings us to the LA River. So again, this is real, this is happening. But why do we assume that it has to stay like this? So this is in the valley portion. It's kind of a box channel. I don't know if any of you have heard of the Arbor study that's been going around, and I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but the Army Corps of Engineers are trying to figure out with the city as partners how to take this type of channel and turn it into that. And it's completely possible. There's no reason from an engineering perspective that we can't do it and still respect the flood control nature of the channel, which is very important. But we don't have to have our infrastructure be just one thing today. It can be many things, from multimodal to multi-benefit. We should start thinking about the LA River as such a wonderful opportunity. So I keep picking on this kind of image of the Broadway Bridge, but what the LA River Revitalization Corporation was started to do, so I should quickly go back and say we were conceived by the city, birthed by the CRA, and then left on our own to make our way in the world to figure out how to execute the implementation of the LA River Master Plan. And this is our kind of vision. We're calling it Greenway 2020, and we're saying that by the year 2020, all 51 miles of the LA River can be connected in a way like this. Instead of looking like this, it can look like this. You can have bike paths, you can have access to trains, you can have access to the river. It's not that far off. We actually have more than 25 miles of paved path already, so we're over half the way there. And if you do just a low improvement investment and say, at minimum, I'm going to make a bike path for all 51 miles, it's $1 million per mile for the path. So we're not that far. When you compare it to a $100 million investment for 1 mile of the High Line, and you say for $1 million, I can make 1 mile of path, and we're over half the way there, we really think that this is possible. Zooming out a bit, this down here was where you saw this lady on her bike. Zooming out, we think, what if you took that and go off the river and connect all the way up to Dodger Stadium? Hopefully there's some Dodger fans in here. And we think that that's totally possible, and other people are getting excited about the idea too. Most recently, Golden Road Brewing over on the east side of town released the Greenway 2020 IPA. I encourage you all to go out and pick some up. I don't even like IPAs, but this is actually pretty good, and I'm not just saying that. But we think, okay, how can we capture this excitement in the public? Well, why is it even important to do it? The LA River is that very thin blue line running through here. And what you're going to see is that right here is a 1 mile buffer from any side of the river. And within that 1 mile buffer, 1/3 of all major transit stops of the metro system are located near the river. That's a powerful thing. If you think of the traffic that we have in the city of Los Angeles, as Hillary pointed out, why are we ignoring this potential infrastructure and just treating it like a flood control channel instead of saying, why don't we layer on transportation to that? Why can't it be a completely bikeable, walkable network? That's important, but how do we get there? Part of our problem is making the argument that that matters to the funders. So right now, for projects, the way it works is that there's a funding pot, and you need to fit your project within it. What we hope the data will do is say, actually, this is the type of project that needs to happen, and so funding sources should change. That's just kind of one thing that we'd like to put out there. And here's why it's important. So you've got the High Line. This is 1 mile. Here's the San Antonio Riverwalk. Here's the LA River. So if you scale out this 1 mile transformation in the city of LA to 51 miles in Los Angeles, that's unprecedented. This is an unprecedented opportunity to change the fabric of our city and to also draw people from around the nation and the world to come see the LA River as a 51-mile urban greenway. That's our dream, and we hope that you can help us get the data that we need. So it's in the project brief. Our main challenges are making the argument that, and I think you'll see it in Frank's presentation, that near the LA River, you've got high rates of diabetes, obesity, asthma, and the solution is in the problem. It's got the infrastructure there to change it, but we just need the information to make the argument. So I think I'm going to leave you with this quote from Gary Ross. If anybody's a fan of the Hunger Games, he's the writer-director of the first installment, and he's on our board. He reads it and says it much more eloquently than I can. His point is, if we're going to have one great space in LA, why can't the LA River be that great space? So thank you for your time.